on NewsHour tonight. Boko Haram kills 9, injures 4 in Borno attack. Heavy downpour destroys homes in Katsina community. NDLEA smashes Lagos drug ring, arrests kingpin and family. On a foreign scene, Texas flood death toll hits 67, including 21 children. Hello, good evening. Welcome to NewsHour on Trust TV. I am Chamaka Mwafo. So on a sad note, at least 9 people have been confirmed dead and 4 others injured following a Boko Haram attack on Malam Faturi in Badam local government area of Borno State. The assault on the Berda community, located 272 kilometers from Maiduguri, has triggered fresh security concerns. In a condolence message delivered by Commissioner for Local Government and Emirate Affairs, Sugun Mele, Governor Babagana Zulum assured residents that the government and military are stepping up efforts to secure the area. The Commissioner also warned residents against collaborating with insurgents as excavators have been deployed to dig defensive trenches around the town. Each bereaved family received 500,000 naira, while the injured got 250,000 naira in government support. Joining us to further give an update on the situation is Hamisu Matazu. Good evening, Hamisu Matazu.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us on NewsHour tonight. What more can you tell us on the situation in Borno State?
What I can say, the situation in Malam Faturi is calm. The government representatives went there and with the intervention from the state government. And, one thing that people are supposed to know about Malam Faturi is an area where that has been under the under attack by the Boko Haram for a very long time. And after some time, the people fled the area into Niger and other neighboring countries, including Chad, and also some came as IDPs in Maiduguri. Unfortunately, I think about some months back, the state government relocated them back, and the refugees in Niger were also taken back to Malam Faturi area. And they are under the heavy security surveillance. Unfortunately, this incident happened, and not quite a long time that the people were resettled, and it was a serious issue that people raised a lot of concern in the area. Meanwhile, the state government sent a delegation with intervention, assuring people that it will not happen, and that the security operatives are on top of the situation. Also, that the area entirely is one of the hotspots of Boko Haram attacks. I can say that with the successes that the military has been recording recently, people were given confidence to return, which the state government even promised this time around that more. I think about 3,000 will be relocated, adding up to the about 2,000 that were already there, making them 5,000 people to be relocated in total. So what we will say is that the military operatives need to up their game to ensure that such incident did not happen.
Okay. Yes. All right. Matazu, have you been able to speak with the people that this has happened to, the affected people? Because if they were wary about returning back to this place after the incident that happened years ago, now that this has happened, do they still want to stay at that in that area?
All the IDP camps that are within the Maiduguri have been closed down, and the state government relocated some, and some were relocated at safe location close to their areas, their ancestral homes, villages. So actually, we did not reach out to, because of the network issue, we couldn't reach the people to discuss whether maybe they still have the mind of returning despite the attack. But based on the information we received from the Commissioner of Information, he said that about 3,000 people are still willing to return back to the Manapoturi, and the state government has, I think, sent an excavator that will dig a trench that will encircle the town to prevent another attack on the people.
All right. Thank you so much, Matazo, for the update and situation. Please do stay safe.
Thank you so much.
We go over to Plateau State, where the police command has confirmed taking precautionary measures following an internal memo indicating a bomb threat targeting the University of Jos, UniJos, which has since circulated online and caused panic among students and residents. The memo, dated July 4, 2025, was signed by Agama Solomon Changni, the acting chief security officer of the university. Though not officially released to the public, it began circulating widely on Saturday. It warned security personnel at the institution to be on high alert and to intensify checks at all entry and exit points. In response to the development, the Plateau State Commissioner of Police, CP Emmanuel Olugbemiga, additional ordered the immediate deployment of the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit to conduct thorough sweeps of the university and other sensitive areas across Jos. The command, through its spokesperson, Alfred Alabo, clarified that while the bomb threat remains unconfirmed and lacks credible evidence, proactive steps have been taken to safeguard lives and property. The Nigerian Army has confirmed the arrest of one of its personnel, Lance Corporal Ahmed Aminu, in connection with the death of a phone repairer, Al-Qasim Ibrahim, in Mayo Balwa local government area of Adamawa State. The incident, which occurred on Friday, has triggered public outrage and renewed calls for accountability. According to a statement issued by the Acting Assistant Director of Army Public Relations for the 23rd Armored Brigade, Yola, Lieutenant Debayo Adeomi, the soldier has been taken into custody as investigations commence. The Army described the situation as deeply concerning and reiterated its zero-tolerance policy for misconduct. It assured the public that the case would be thoroughly investigated and the outcome made public to ensure transparency and justice. To security matters, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has issued a firm directive to the Nigerian Army and other security agencies to decisively confront and defeat terrorists, bandits, insurgents, and separatists threatening the peace and unity of the nation. Speaking through Vice President Kashim Shettima at the grand finale of the 2025 Nigerian Army Day celebration held at Murtala Square, Kaduna, Tinubu charged the military to rise to the challenge without hesitation. Trust TV's Bella Musa reports.
President Tinubu's marching order comes amid renewed attacks by insurgents, bandits, and other criminal elements across the country. He emphasized that the time has come for the Nigerian Army to take decisive action and crush all forces threatening the safety of innocent citizens in various communities.
With the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I say this with clarity. The time to rise is now. You have my full authorization and the trust of the Nigerian people to confront and defeat those who seek to undermine our nation. You have my confidence, my support, and my prayer. And I know that you have the resolve to prepare.
Earlier, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, highlighted the enduring strength of the Nigerian Army since its founding in 1863. He noted that while the Army has advanced in structure and technology, its greatest strength remains its personnel.
This year's celebration is At the crucial period when the high percentage of Nigerian army troops are fully committed in ongoing operations across the country. Recently, our nation has been challenged by enemies of peace, perpetrating all forms of criminality and terrorism within our borders. Notwithstanding, the Nigerian army, in collaboration with sister services and other security agencies, have been able to manage the invasion by denying these criminal elements the opportunity to disrupt territorial integrity of their country Nigeria.
The Nigerian Army's 162nd anniversary was marked by military parade, tactical demonstrations, and an exhibition of advanced hardware showcasing the Army's operational capabilities. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Over in Sokoto, the government has dismissed recent peace overtures by notorious bandit leader Bello Turji as insincere, insisting that any talk of dialogue must begin with the release of kidnapped victims. Security advisor to Governor Ahmed Aliyu, Colonel Ahmed Usman retired, said Turji's claims of readiness for peace will only be taken seriously if backed by concrete action, including ending attacks and freeing hostages. He emphasized that the government remains open to credible peace efforts, but not at the cost of justice or security. The comments come amid growing pressure on bandit groups across the northwest as authorities intensify efforts to restore safety in rural communities. On political matters, the Katsina State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has dismissed reports of mass defections within its ranks, reaffirming its loyalty to the party's leadership and renewing its commitment to reclaiming power from the All Progressives Congress, APC. At an expanded caucus meeting held in Kaduna on Sunday, party leaders reiterated their focus on unity and progress, particularly in preparation for upcoming by-elections in the state. In a communique signed by the state chairman, Edward Percy Masha, the caucus firmly rejected rumors of internal divisions or plans by its leaders to abandon the party. The state chapter restated its alignment with the PDP's national leadership, including the Board of Trustees and the PDP Governors Forum, and welcomed ongoing preparations for a national elective convention aimed at repositioning the party. The Kaduna PDP also endorsed any strategic alliances or political partnerships being considered by the party's emerging leadership after the convention. The inspiring story of a young man who combined grit, hard work and ambition to rise above his circumstances has captured national attention. At Bayero University's Kano 39th convocation, 27-year-old Ibrahim Saraja graduated with first-class honors, a feat that not only earned him applause, but also touched many hearts. Trust TV caught up with the Katsina born phenom, who shared how he balanced academics and the hustle of driving a tricycle to finance his education. The report.
Born and raised in Kofar Arewa, Daura, Katsina State, Ibrahim Saraja is the embodiment of resilience. To pay his way through school, he worked daily as a tricycle operator, a demanding job that didn't stop him from excelling in the classroom. Against the odds, he graduated with an impressive 4.56 CGPA, a success story that quickly went viral on social media.
I am the first person to graduate in my family, and the course that I studied is agricultural science education, and my family play a role in my education by giving me guidance, but I lack financial support. The situation is very difficult for me and challenge. There is a lot of challenges that I face. I face a lot of challenges because I mix studying and also doing the driving keke napep at the same time. In some time, I used to take only 3 days in Bayero University. Then I came back to Daura in order to drive my keke napep so that I can get the money to sponsor myself in my study in order to buy food and paying school fees and others.
Today, Ibrahim is still in the transport business, riding a leased tricycle while nurturing big dreams. But with a degree in hand, his sights are set on using education as a tool to transform his community and inspire other young Nigerians.
My work is, as I have said earlier, is driving keke napep. And the challenges that I face is and as you can see, the napep is too old, and the napep is not my own. It's it's my friend's napep. My plan for the future is I want to get capital so that to start an enterprise, especially farm enterprise. And I want to, if I didn't get capital, start the enterprise, I want to get a government job, especially in my areas of study. I can contribute in the community through organizing a regular workshop and training in my field of study, like rearing of livestock and farming as well. And I can encourage or mentor youth to engage in farming activities in our locality.
From the dusty streets of Daura to the graduation stage in Kano, Ibrahim Saraja's story is a powerful reminder that with enough determination, perseverance and purpose, no dream is out of reach, no matter the obstacles.
24-year-old Muhammad Habibu Hussaini, a 200-level student of computer engineering and communication at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, has invented a smart glove designed to convert sign language into speech. The device, built using locally sourced materials, aims to help individuals with speech impairments communicate more effectively. In this report, Trust TV's Adamu Imam explores Muhammad's motivation and vision.
Muhammad Habibu Hussaini, a student of computer engineering and communication at ATBU Bauchi, says his inspiration came from a personal place, his sister who has been unable to speak since birth. According to him, he began thinking of how to create something that could change her life and help others facing similar challenges.
Being my immediate sister, we don't have this brother-sister bond because of the communication barrier. So I've always looked forward to devise a way that I can talk to my sister so that I can have that relationship as a brother-sister relationship. But since I don't know how to speak sign language and she doesn't know how to speak, there was that communication barrier. So I've always had the idea of maybe someday I can devise a means to bridge the gap of communication between I and my sister.
He added that the successful development of the smart glove was a dream come true, revealing that he built the entire project within the confines of his bedroom.
We have a lot of technologically driven people here in Africa. If only they are given the right opportunity to display their potential, I think Africa as a whole, Africa as a whole, is going to rule the world.
Habib also told Trust TV that the smart glove is still undergoing final adjustment before completion. Despite the difficulties, he continues to work on it with support from two of his schoolmates who contributed to the process.
I don't have a laptop, so I had to be borrowing people's laptop. And in the process, I have to log in my details here, write the code here. If the person collects the laptop, I have to take it to another side again.
This is what we want to see, and we don't want things like this to die here. We don't want this thing to die within the walls of the school, and we want let the world do something about it.
From what I've seen, it wasn't easy. Honestly, it wasn't easy. I can remember the first time we did it. After everything looked good, we found out okay, one wire was missing or it wasn't properly configured. We have to scatter it, rearrange it, scatter, rearrange.
The management of the university has also expressed readiness to support technologically driven students who are using their knowledge to create solutions for humanity.
We have laboratories where these students are going for practicals, and we encourage them to make initiatives of their own, such as what this young man has done. And when they have come out with something that is tangible, the university always helps them in so many ways.
The invention known as the NHED Smart Glove began with a functional demo to test its efficiency and accuracy. It operates using pressure sensors that send data to an ESP32 microcontroller connected to an SD card module, which then triggers the corresponding audio output. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
A very thoughtful invention there. Now, a flood caused by heavy rainfall at midnight has sacked many residents of the Dankama community in the Kaita local government area of Katsina State from their homes. The incident was confirmed to newsmen in Katsina on Sunday by Ishak Salikin Fulani, a resident of the area. During the early hours of Sunday, a heavy downpour was experienced across some parts of the state. Salikin Fulani said the situation, which started about 3 a.m., had affected many houses around 6 areas with ponds. According to him, many residents were left stranded throughout the night, forcing some of them to seek shelter from friends and other relatives who were not affected. He attributed the situation to the blockage of many drainage systems across the town by refuse left by unidentified residents. In her reaction, Binta Dangani, the executive secretary of the State's Emergency Management Agency, confirmed the incident. According to her, arrangements are underway to send officials to the area to assess the level of damage caused by the disaster. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has conducted the large-scale flood simulation in Wudil local government area, Kano State, on Saturday to test emergency preparedness as flood threats loom. NEMA DG Zubaidu Umar said the drill simulated a dam release from Tiga, Chalawa and Pagoda in anticipation of possible flooding across Kano, Jigawa and Yobe states. Citing floods forecast by NIMET and NISA, Umar stressed that readiness is critical, especially after recent deadly floods in Mokwa, Niger State. The simulation is part of Nigeria's broader push to improve resilience and disaster response across high regions. You're still on to News Hour on Trust TV. Up ahead, we'll take a look at green therapy, a soothing path to emotional well-being. This story and more when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that Boko Haram killed 9, injured 4 in Borno attack. We also told you the heavy downpour destroyed homes in Katsina community. Two more stories. The Nigerian Senate Chief Whip Mohammed Tarihi Mongunu has assured that the creation of Savannah State will be realized. He discussed this during a brief meeting with Southern Borno leaders in Maiduguri. He said the Savannah State bill will be considered at the National Assembly, noting that the clamor for Savannah State dates back as 40 years. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Conference of Southern Borno Development Association, Dauda Danladi, said stakeholders across the state, including Governor Zulum and traditional chiefs, support the creation. He explained that 9 local governments, if turned to a state, will address insecurity challenges.
From the chairman of the zonal Senate hearing, as well as all the members of the esteemed 1999 Review Constitution Committee, we are very, very optimistic, and you have given us hope that God's willing, Savannah State will become a reality. I do not want to belabor the issue because we have already submitted our memorandum. This is just for me to rise up and say we thank you very much and we appreciate your support. But one thing that is very clear is that, distinguished senators, Borno State, the size of Borno State, you will put the Southeast 3 times in Borno State. And we believe that if this request is granted, it's going to be conterminous with managing the challenges of security that has bedeviled this region for over a decade.
There is unanimity among all the stakeholders of Borno State for the creation of Savannah State in order to bring dividends of democracy to the doorsteps of our people. We are wholeheartedly behind it. We are going to put heads together with our leader, who is more experienced in the politics of National Assembly than us, so that this move is going to see the light of the day. Thank you.
The Senate has said suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduahan will not be reinstated until she complies with the Federal High Court order directing her to issue a formal apology. Senate spokesperson Adeyemi Adaramodu stated that the court ruling did not override the Senate's constitutional powers to discipline members. Akpoti-Oduahan, suspended in March for alleged misconduct, had accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment, a claim he denied. Justice Nyako, in her ruling, faulted the indefinite nature of the suspension, but upheld the Senate's authority to impose sanctions. However, she found Akpoti-Oduahan guilty of contempt over a Facebook post and ordered her to publish a proper apology and pay 5 million naira in damages. The Senate said it will only revisit the matter after the senator complies with the court's directives. Fewer than 21 people have lost their lives in a ghastly road crash that occurred along the Zaria-Kano Highway on Sunday morning, the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed. The tragic accident, which took place around 8:23 a.m. at Kasurwa Dogo in the Katsina area, involved a DAF trailer, according to the Kano State Sector Command of the FRC. Preliminary investigations revealed that the driver of the Hummer bus violated traffic rules by driving against the flow of traffic, resulting in a devastating head-on collision with the oncoming trailer. The impact triggered a fire outbreak that engulfed both vehicles, leaving most of the victims burned beyond recognition. Sector Corps Commander M.B. Baturi said the Corps rescue team, upon receiving the distress report, promptly contacted the federal and state fire services to help put out the blaze while dispatching personnel to the scene to commence rescue and evacuation operations. Tragedy struck early Sunday as 8 people, including a bus driver and his conductor, died in a crash involving a 16-seater master bus and a DAF truck at Atura bus stop Mile 2 Badagry Expressway. Several others sustained injuries and were rushed to Badagry General Hospital by emergency responders, including the FRSC, Nigerian Army and police. LASMA's General Manager Olaliko Bakarioki confirmed the accident was caused by the bus driver's excessive speed and loss of control. He described the incident as a painful reminder of the dangers of reckless driving and urged commercial drivers to prioritize safety and regular vehicle maintenance. The agency also announced the deployment of speed limiting measures across Lagos to curb rising road fatalities. In health matters, Nigeria has recorded 145 deaths from Lassa fever as of week 25 of 2025, with a case fatality rate of 18.6%. According to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, 781 confirmed cases were from 5,943 suspected infections across 20 states and 101 local government areas. The report said 5 states of Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Taraba, and Ebonyi accounted for 91% of confirmed cases. The majority of infections were among young adults aged 21 to 30, with slightly more males affected. The CDC said while overall cases have declined compared to 2024, the rising fatality rate is concerning, driven by late diagnosis, poor health-seeking behavior, and high treatment costs. Mental health experts in Nigeria have identified the role of the environment, especially green spaces, as emerging silent healers for those battling stress, anxiety, and depression. This comes amid a global rise in mental health challenges, with Nigerians not spared as the present economic challenges continue to take its toll on Nigerians. Haisha Haruna tells us more in this report.
Spending time in nature has long been linked to better mental health. Whether it's a stroll through a park, a quiet moment in a garden, or a hike in the woods, green spaces can significantly reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Experts say incorporating more parks and natural spaces into urban design is critical to reducing the mental health toll of fast-paced city life. Dr. Mariam Omishore Bakari, a mental health coach and physiotherapy enthusiast, says connecting with nature gives one a sense of belonging, which brings them from their busy lives to calmness, peace, and tranquility. This, she says, helps to promote mental state and emotional well-being.
When we are in connection with nature, that's we are in green spaces, we've gone to the lawn or something, there's something in us that's awakened, which is like, oh, this looks like where I belong. So in essence, it brings us from our busy lives to calmness. It brings us to peace. It brings us to tranquility. So that's how important green spaces are in helping us promote mental states and helping us with emotional well-being. So the importance can be overemphasized.
According to Dr. Mariam, everyone benefits from access to green spaces. This includes children, the elderly, and also people with mental health challenges. She stressed the need for parents to allow their children to play outdoors, including taking them to green spaces to connect with nature.
If you talk about categories of people that benefit, I would say everyone benefits, I tell you. But yeah, if you really want to like now cone it down to certain categories of people, such as the children. In fact, if I have my way, I would say every home should ensure at regular intervals take their children out.
Environmental and climate justice advocate Nicholas Adeniyi identified rapid urbanization as a leading driver of deforestation in Nigeria. According to Adeniyi, major development projects often begin by clearing trees to make space, a practice that continues to exacerbate environmental degradation. He emphasized the critical role of afforestation in reversing the trend, warning that continued deforestation contributes significantly to global warming, which in turn poses serious threats to public health.
So there is the general sentiment that urbanization is a major cause of deforestation globally. When there needs to be any development project, they would have to fall whatever is on the way. Most of the time, there are trees. So it's important to replace these trees, and that is what has led to the initiative that calls for the need to integrate green spaces in urban planning. So basically, this is to plant trees along with housing, plant trees along with road construction and all of that. And this is to ensure that the biodiversity that exists there, as whose habitat is that location, are kind of like put in context in these plans to ensure that you protect the biodiversity, you protect the land from further land degradation that might have been caused by these projects.
While commending certain initiatives, particularly in Abuja, for their tree planting campaigns, Adeniyi called on authorities to prioritize the development of parks and community gardens to promote mental well-being and give residents better access to nature.
A major initiative that I can point out that is an obvious example that you can see by yourself and anybody would be the Abuja tree planting initiative, urban green spaces initiative, which was part of the master plan of the FCT. So if you look at areas like Metama, if you look at areas like Asoko, take an area view from above, you would see like you may not even see many houses. You see a lot of trees. This conscious efforts to ensure that while you're building, you're also planting at the same time.
Many park goers say they feel calmer, more focused, and emotionally refreshed after spending time in nature. While some visit parks regularly to cope with work-related stress or as part of their daily self-care routines.
Yes, I do visit green space, not all the time, once in a while. and I enjoy visiting green space because there is fresh air. Yeah, you can have fresh air, have a good time yourself.
The reason why I come around is because it helps me to relax because of the green, the fields, just like here, they have something like a lake there. So the atmosphere is friendly, it's relaxed and quiet. So I love coming to the park to relax if I want to think or if I want to figure out some stuffs like that.
Visiting parks has been a hobby to me because it has no limited time. I love green areas and especially a place where there is water, the lake view, the greenish, the fresh air. It all means a lot to my health. So I do visit parks often.
I visited this park last week, Sunday, based how my friend invited me to come and see how Jabi Park look. So as I come to the place, I see a lot of different things where children are climbing horses, others are riding bikes, but there's some problem in other places where the environment need to be maintained. If it should be possible, it will be more encouraging if the place can be maintained so that it will attract others to come.
These personal stories reflect what research has already confirmed. 85% of people say they feel more relaxed after spending time in green space. 76% report lower anxiety levels, while 92% believe green spaces are essential for mental well-being. Beyond reducing stress, green spaces foster community connection and a sense of belonging, while acting as havens of peace in an increasingly stressful world. As experts advocate for greener cities, one message is clear: nature is a vital part of healing and living well. Aisha Haruna, reporting for Trust TV.
Operatives of the NDLEA have intercepted cocaine concealed in female lipsticks and property title documents en route to the UK and Saudi Arabia. The drugs were recovered from cargo being prepared for shipments at a Lagos courier company on Thursday. A total of 420 grams of cocaine hidden in 84 lipstick tubes were seized, along with 280 grams found inside the property document. In a separate operation, NDLEA arrested a notorious drug kingpin, Ajesibo Emami, also known as Warri Kingsman, in Ikeja, Lagos. The three-day sting led to the arrest of 3 other suspects and the recovery of 681 pouches of Canadian loud cannabis weighing 414.2 kilograms. Also in Lagos, Aja Johnson Uchenna, his wife Rosemary, their 2 daughters, and a family friend were arrested for running a drug distribution network. The DSS first apprehended the family in Ojo on June 13 and handed them over to NDLEA with 277.5 kilograms of skunk. NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, praised officers nationwide for their work in tackling both drug supply and demand. Women in Osun State have been advised to take their reproductive health seriously and go for regular medical checkups to ensure early detection of illnesses and prompt treatment. The advice comes amid concern over Nigeria's reproductive health indices, particularly in rural areas where many women either neglect their health or cannot afford quality medical care. Hamid Oyemade reports.
Although Nigeria's reproductive health indicators are gradually improving, experts say the progress is still insufficient. Government efforts have so far fallen short of fully realizing reproductive health rights, especially for women in underserved communities. This has prompted non-governmental organizations to step in and bridge the gap, particularly in rural areas where access to health care remains limited. At a free medical outreach held in Osogbo, Osun State, a gynecologist at the Osun State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Rafiat Aziz, encouraged women to be proactive about their health and seek medical attention at the first sign of symptoms.
Presenting early to the hospital halt the progression of this medical condition. So I want to encourage women who have severe menstrual cramps or painful sex to present early in the hospital.
Also speaking, Monsurat Adewale, Assistant Medical Laboratory Scientist at the State Specialist Hospital, Ashubiaro, Oshogbo, said the outreach is to educate and empower Muslim women to adopt healthy living practices.
Women, we are the drivers. We move homes, we move the world, we move the nation. Somebody that is meant to move the world, to move the nation, must be a healthy person, must be a sound person, must be in a sound mind, a sound mind. If that is required, she must check her health status from time to time. Once it is recommended that we check ourselves once in every 6 months, you update your health status, you do medical check.
Some of the beneficiaries also expressed appreciation for the free services.
Muslim women can also be valuable, can be worthy in the society, can be useful in the society. We Muslim women, we can have our own self-esteem, self-care, self-worthy. We can also be presentable in the society.
During the outreach, women were tested and treated for various reproductive health issues at no cost. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
The Oyo State Police Command has raised an alert ahead of the July 7 Founders Day celebration of the New Black Movement of Africa, also known as the Black Axe Cult Group. Police spokesperson SP Adewale Oshifeso said intelligence suggests that the event could spark violent clashes with rival cults, potentially leading to public disorder across the state. He noted that hoteliers and lounge operators have been warned against hosting cult-linked gatherings, while community stakeholders are urged to engage youth on the dangers of cultism. Oshifeso assured that security personnel will be deployed across key locations, urging residents to stay vigilant and report suspicious activity. The federal government has fined MultiChoice Nigeria 766.2 million naira for breaching the Nigerian Data Protection Act. The Nigeria Data Protection Commission said the sanction followed the year-long investigation into allegations of privacy violations and illegal cross-border transfer of Nigerian subscribers' personal data. NDPC's head of legal enforcement and regulations, Babatunde Bamiboyi, disclosed that MultiChoice infringed on the privacy rights of subscribers and third parties whose data was processed without consent. The Commission also criticized MultiChoice's response to its recommended remedial measures, calling them unsatisfactory and citing a lack of cooperation. You're still on to News Hour on Trust TV. When we return, business, foreign and sports, please just stay with us.
Welcome to Trust TV, your gateway to the captivating essence of Nigerian history, culture, and society.
And this is where the hydroelectric power dam is supposed to be constructed.
Delve into the depths of Nigeria's past with our insightful documentaries unraveling the intricacies of ancient civilizations and colonial influences that have shaped the nation's identity. Immerse yourself in the vibrant Nigerian traditions and customs as we showcase the diverse cultural landscape.
The early history of human existence can be traced to the heart of northern Nigeria. Here, archaeologists found evidence of a group of people who sculpted clay and developed tools to smelt iron.
From lively festivals to time-honored rituals, Trust TV encapsulates the spirit of Nigeria's dynamic heritage. Experience an authentic portrayal of contemporary Nigerian culture that is both engaging and enriching.
With over 250 ethnicities, over 500 languages, and a youthful population, Nigeria has a truly diverse demographic advantage.
Don't miss out on Trust TV's amazing and impactful storytelling. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's get to business. The Director General of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, LMRDC, Professor Nnailego Ikemonso, has announced that the implementation of new tax incentives will reduce cost burdens on industries that innovate, build and manufacture using locally sourced solutions. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja, Professor Ikemonso stated that the tax incentive guidelines aim to foster research and development and the utilization of local raw materials in Nigerian industries. He highlighted that the policy's approval signals the government's commitment to creating fertile ground for sustainable industrial innovation and economic diversification. The DG emphasized that the new framework will encourage companies to invest in R&D activities and reward them for using Nigeria's sourced raw materials, thereby reducing reliance on imports, strengthening the local value chain and creating opportunities for local suppliers and producers. The National Insurance Commission, NICOM, has maintained that insurance cover for both human resources, fixed assets and other valuables are critical for national security and economic stability. The Commissioner for Insurance, Olusegun Omosheyin, made this known in Lagos at the just concluded inaugural Insurance Week, a landmark campaign in Nigeria's insurance industry aimed at raising awareness and empowering citizens on the importance of insurance. The Commissioner, who emphasized the importance of sustaining the momentum, issued a call to action to amplify insurance awareness nationwide. CIIN President Yetunde Ilori reiterated the Institute's commitment to initiatives that promote learning and engagement within the insurance sector. Ilori explained that the initiative was designed to reach the grassroots and spotlight the critical role of insurance in the national economy. Away from Nigeria, the death toll from devastating floods in Central Texas has risen to at least 67, including 21 children, as rescue operations continue across Kerr and surrounding counties. Authorities say 11 girls and a camp counselor remain missing. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Lather confirmed 59 deaths in the area alone, while other fatalities were reported in Travis, Kendall, Burnett, and Tom Green counties. More than 850 people have been rescued so far, but many found clinging to trees. President Donald Trump has declared a major disaster, activating FEMA and other federal resources. The United States Coast Guard has joined in search efforts. The National Weather Service has come under scrutiny over inadequate warning systems, with critics linking the delay to federal staffing courts under the Trump administration. Israel has sent a delegation to Qatar for new indirect talks on a possible hostage and ceasefire deal, despite Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying the changes requested by Hamas to a previous proposal were unacceptable. Hospital officials in Gaza said Israeli strikes killed at least 38 Palestinians in the enclave on Sunday. Indirect negotiations between Israel and Hamas are set to resume Sunday in Doha for a Gaza truce and hostage release deal, ahead of a visit by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House. Israeli negotiators were headed to Qatar on Sunday for indirect talks with Hamas, seeking a Gaza truce and hostage release deal. Under mounting pressure to end the war, now approaching its 22nd month, Netanyahu is scheduled to meet on Monday with U.S. President Donald Trump, who has been making a renewed push to end the fighting. A lion that escaped from a theme park near Antalya, Turkey, was shot dead by security forces on Sunday after it attacked a sleeping farm worker. Local officials confirmed that the lion, named Zeus, escaped from the Land of Lions theme park in Managvat around dawn. It reportedly attacked Suleiman Kerr, who was sleeping with his wife in a pistachio field nearby. Kerr sustained minor injuries to his leg and neck, but managed to fight the animal off before help arrived. Security forces later tracked and killed the lion, citing a threat to public safety. Authorities have launched an investigation into how the animal escaped. Local media say about 30 big cats are housed at the park. On the sports scene, Nigeria's Super Falcons began the 2025 WAFCON campaign with a dominant 3-0 win over Tunisia on Sunday at the Stade Lerbi Zoili in Casablanca. Asisat Oshola opened score in the 3rd minute, heading in a free kick from Risola Babajide. Babajide doubled the lead just before halftime and paid tribute to the late Liverpool star Diogo Jota with her celebration. Despite missed chances in the second half, Nigeria sealed the win in the 80th minute through Chiwendu Ihoza's composed finish. The Falcons are targeting a record-extending 10th WAFCON title after falling short in the 2022 semi-finals. Nigeria and Togo will reignite their table tennis rivalry at the 2025 ITTF West Africa Championships holding July 16 to 19 at the Molade Okaya Thermos Hall, Lagos. Nigeria will defend the women's title, while Togo aim for back-to-back men's titles after last year's 3-2 win over Nigeria. Top seed Matthew Kuti will also look to retain his singles crown, while the women's title is up for grabs with Hope Udoka absent. Over 10 countries will participate, with the event serving as a qualifier for the African Championships in Rwanda. ITTF West Africa VP Ferdinand Tuno praised Nigeria's hosting and said the tournament will spotlight emerging talent. That concludes News Hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do watch for us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. On behalf of the news production team, thank you for joining us tonight. Good night. I'm Chiamaka Mwafo.